What's up, YouTube? I'm Jake, this little girl is Fiona, and welcome to Season 1 of Sailing Life Aquatic. So today, I'm going to go look at an island back at 38. It's currently listed for sale for $55,000. It's 1990, so it's kind of middle of the road for when they were building them. I believe they started in 87-ish and built their 94s or something like that. So middle of the road for here. And it's a 38-foot long, full keel boat. So it's going to be a little slow, but it would be perfect for blue water sailing, and I don't mind a lot of wind. So for me, it's perfect because I can more or less feel confident going out in most conditions. So we'll see how the overall inspection goes, the overall quality of the boat. It's been a hotel currently for sailing students that come to Puerto Rico and want to learn how to sail. They learn on a different boat, stay in that boat, so it seems like it works out pretty well. But the guy that is listing the boat for sale is basically just done teaching. He doesn't want to teach anymore. So we will see if I can actually get a decent price on the boat, because he wants to get rid of it. He's done. And for me, it's currently hurricane season. Not a lot of people want to buy boats, so hopefully he'll make a deal. This is my second boat I have looked at for sale. My first one was a 90s Bavaria 35 or 36, I believe. So it was fine. It didn't have an aft cabin, and that was kind of a problem for me because I want to have friends over. I want to go sailing with other people, not just by myself most of the time. So for me, I want to make sure I have enough room for friends to stay. And the Islander 38 is a Pullman layout, which is honestly one of my favorites. Well, that being said, I've never been on a Pullman layout, but from all the pictures and everything I've ever seen, to me, that looks awesome. So it has a nice big queen bed in the front, and I don't know how that'll do for the rocking, but people love these boats because they're great blue water cruisers. So I gotta imagine it'll be just fine for me as well. The only thing I'm worried about is overall condition of the boat. The sails are in good condition, but all the electronics to the mast have been disconnected. So I'm gonna have to rerun all new electronics to the mast and figure out exactly how old the GPS and the chart plotter and everything else is, depth finder, and I'm a little worried about the batteries. They're probably shot, so for me, I'm gonna try and talk them down a little bit more on price, so that way I have some extra cash left over in order to replace all the electronics. So wish me luck.
A few of the things I'm looking for when I move on board. I just want the boat 75% ready, 2 beds and 2 baths, air conditioning, a U-shaped galley, owner's version, dinghy davits, Dodger and a bimini, and a sugar scoop. All of these things I think are going to make it really convenient just to move on board, and all my projects are going to be upgrades, not spending time actually fixing things. Right away, you can tell the boat does have some minor scuffing, but overall appears to be in okay condition given the age. Included on the bow are a roller furler and a newer windlass and a fortress anchor. As we walk around to the left side of the boat, you will tell that the paint has had a little bit of work. The vessel had another boat blow into it while on the hard during Hurricane Maria. Also, during the same time, the boat was demasted, and there happens to be a pretty interesting story behind the new mast. And yes, for those of you wondering, the sunken dinghy next to the boat is included in the purchase. At the helm, the boat does have some newer Raymarine electronics, so this would be a really nice feature and would save me a lot of time from needing to install newer equipment. Also, in the back, I did notice that the dinghy davits were bent down and to the left. I can't imagine that those are going to be easy to straighten back out, so from here, the repair bills begin to start flowing through my mind. As we enter into the interior of the boat, you can tell the overall design and age is from the 90s, and at first glance, the boat looks about on average. Touting a really spacious layout for a vessel of its size and age. The navigation station isn't forward-facing, but it is easy to use, although almost all the electronics at this station need to be replaced. One of my personal favorite features is the folding dining table, complete with hidden booze locker, and we all know that sailors love their drinks. One thing I did notice right off the bat is that there is a lot of water damage on the wood, but more on this later. I think one of the best features about this boat is the large forward private head. It's plenty big to shower in and gives you lots of privacy and easy access to the anchor locker. All of these things are huge wins for me, especially as a liveaboard. As we walk towards the back of the boat, you will see on the port side a second head with 2 doors, one from the main living area and another from the aft cabin. This is a great feature for any guest staying on board and looking for a little privacy in such a small space. I have got to say guys, honestly I love this layout and the size of the boat, but I am just not sold on it. Although it does check off a handful of things on my checklist, there is a lot going on here that we haven't got to yet. More on that later, so stay tuned. As we go out on deck, you'll see the tan anti-skid is in pretty good condition, and the well-known yellow color of the island packet is there as well. Overall, the top deck looks to be in okay condition, but not present right now is the classic self-tacking staysail. Apart from that little piece, I absolutely love the huge bow spread at the front of the boat. This would be an amazing place to just hang out and take pictures when under full sail, or maybe even watch some dolphins.
So, sit rep on the island packet 38. None of the major systems work. Fridge doesn't work, air conditioning doesn't work. The gas tank or diesel tank has a hole in it, so he's using a red jug in the back of the boat that's plumbed in for the engine currently. The motor looks fine. It's little rusty, things here and there probably need to be fixed on it. From the motor standpoint and the hull standpoint, it's probably okay. It does have about a foot of standing water in the bilge. Not sure if that's normal or not for those island packets to have a lot of standing water in them like that. But yeah, the boat needs a ton of work. Also, the mast is not original. The boat was demasted during Maria. It was on the hard in Virgin Gorda, and another boat tipped into it. So the right side of the boat has been painted to cover up where the other boat tipped into it, and the boat was demasted, so it needed to get a new mast. And the mast that he replaced it with is from a steel boat, or it used to be a steel boat that sunk during Maria, so they took the mast and they moved it over to this boat, or the chart table below. All the wood underneath it is rotten, and that would need to be replaced. And none of the water systems work. So for a liveaboard, you couldn't move on to it right away. All the lines would need to be bleached, replaced. For all the water lines, all the electronics on the boat would need to be gone through. And there's a lot. Also, it had cockroaches on it. I found cockroaches, so that was a little gross. But you know, things that you could definitely deal with, but it needs a ton of work going into it.
So, I think at this point we've all realized this is not going to be the boat for me. I need something I can move on to right away, and this just isn't going to fit the bill because I want to get out of my apartment and quit paying apartment bills, and that's half the reason I want to do this stuff, and I absolutely love sailing. So, it is what it is. Stay tuned for the next boat I go look at, and we'll take it from there. Hopefully, eventually I'll find something to get onto. Actor, looking good, we're in focus. Alright. Just one other quick note I was going to mention. If you want to stay up to date with real-time updates and see what's going on with little Fiona and I, I'll try and put my Instagram here. It's my first time on this whole YouTube thing, so hopefully it shows up right about here. Otherwise, I'm also going to try and open a Patreon account here in the near future. So if you'd like to stay up to date with myself and Fiona and see where we're at, see what kind of projects we're going on, I'd love to get out and meet new people. Networking is one of my favorite things to do, just get out in this world and meet some of the most amazing people that exist. One other thing with that is if you'd actually like to pay for a Patreon account, is I'd like to be able to give back by either hosting live sessions with people or having people be able to reach out and specifically ask me any of their questions about boating, this lifestyle, kind of some one-on-one mentorship. If anyone has any interest in that, it's something I would love to be able to help people with and get more people out in this community. So more on that to come. Hopefully a link soon. Stay tuned, and more episodes on the way. I'm going to hopefully try and launch one about every week to begin with, but working full-time, it's still hard to do. So stay tuned, and we'll go from there. Say bye, Fifi.